Here is Ben in Arlington, Virginia. Ben, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Kojo. Thanks for taking my call. I'm a small business person, and I live in Virginia. And, you know, Ken Cuccinelli talks a lot about the constitutional principles at issue here. But, you know, I don't hear anything from the GOP or Mr. Cuccinelli about the problem of people not able to get insurance in Virginia. And let me just tell you a little bit about my experience. As I say, I have a small business. I had worked for a bigger company. My Cobra was running out. I started looking for a private insurance for me and my family. And I was denied because of a pre-existing condition. And this wasn't something like, you know, smoking or being overweight or something. This was just a small dermatology matter that had already been cleared up. And I think there are thousands of Virginians who can't get insurance for these kind of conditions, for acne, for migraines, for allergies, for trivial things. And Virginia has no safety net. There's no high-risk pool available like there is in 34 other states. So when Mr. Cuccinelli, you know, goes on his high horse about the constitutional principle and getting back to, you know, the traditional definition, the Commerce Clause, he's doing nothing to help thousands of Virginians who can't get health insurance. And, you know, basically, you know, the basis that he's using is so bogus. I mean, the argument that government doesn't have a right to make someone buy something, you know, the state of Virginia makes me buy auto insurance. And if I don't buy it, I have to pay it.
Well, allow me to have Mr. Cuccinelli respond because time is running short and he's not on his high horse here. We've put him in a low chair.
Yes.
Mr. Attorney General.
I can attest to that. First, let's start at the back and work forward. Your auto insurance example. States can order this. That is consistent with the Constitution. That's what Massachusetts is doing. With respect to auto insurance, which is the example I hear the most about, states can order you to buy auto insurance. Frankly, they could just order you to buy it. The states are not limited by the U.S. Constitution like the federal government is. That's why the 10th Amendment says everything else, all the other powers are left to the states and the people. The states have a great deal of authority, in fact, more than the federal government, which is not often thought about these days because the federal government exercises so much authority. But so the state could order this while the federal government cannot. With respect to the bill itself, you know, in a 2,700-page bill, there's got to be something in there that everyone would like. I mean, there just has to be. It's so enormous. And I understand that there are challenges with health care reform. When I was in the state Senate, before I became Attorney General, I tried to address some of those. For instance, allowing Virginians to buy health insurance across state lines. A lot of people don't know that's not legal. And it's rather surprising that it's not legal, but it's not for an ordinary Virginian. And in Virginia, compared to our sister states and the District of Columbia, we have the highest monthly insurance premiums, save for North Carolina, which is not necessarily what everybody would think.
Just on that point, though, because I thought that was a very good point. So someone pointed out the other day that if you allowed buying insurance across state lines, unregulated states like Mississippi, the companies from those states would have bogus policies and people would be ripped off.
Well,
no regulation of them.
Their insurance first of all, as a state legislator, you can pick and choose what states. You can decide Mississippi isn't up to sufficient standards, and so you can buy it from 49 states but not Mississippi. That's perfectly fine. The key, it was brought to my attention to me by a constituent who said, look, Virginia doesn't cover developmental deafness. My child falls in that category, but Colorado does. Can you mandate it in Virginia? And I said, well, how about if we just get you the right to buy a Colorado policy? Would that do the trick? And she thought about it for a moment and said, well, yeah, that's all I need. And so I tried to do that and ran into the wall of insurance companies who you know, managed to lobby folks the other way. But I think that now that would be better received.